we didn't come out like we should. We looked more excited, anxious, and we turned the ball over. So we got settled down. We came out really fighting hard in that third quarter, went on that run, outscored them 20-8. And then it was kind of back and forth with the fourth. But we talked about how the fight was there for 40 minutes, but we can't spot a team like St. John's or anybody in the Big East 16 points in the first half. But to that senior class, I thought Ari Gray, especially maybe our last 4 games, really just turned it on and ended her career on top and gave everything she had. I think Dunham as well, just our glue, our leader, our fighter, gave everything she had this entire season. And then our other seniors, Leyendecker and Deja Ross, gave everything they had too. So happy with our fight, but we let this one slip away with how we came out in the first half.
Thanks, Coach. We'll ask that you use the raise hand function and take some questions. First to John Fanta.
Mel, it's good to see you. In the third quarter, what did you make of what your team was able to do defensively to get back in the game?
Yeah, so we went to a 2-3 zone, and our kids bought into that and had high hands. We had length in that backcourt with the back line of our zone, and Nia, Clark, and Dunham were just active up front. I thought Dunham was that little pest and just getting her hands and getting deflections on a lot of balls. And that kind of led to runouts for us. So it was our stops. I think at one point we said we had 7 out of 10 stops. And we wanted to keep doing that. And we kind of took what Travis and his guys do with the kills. And I think at one time we had 4 kills, which is 3 continuous stops 4 times. And so our kids really bought into that to the defensive end, which got us going then offensively.
Next, we'll go to Megan Caffrey.
Coach, I know that Raylani Correa was a big person that you were on the lookout for coming into today's game. She got in foul trouble early, sat out almost an entire quarter. How pleased are you with how your team was able to do against her today?
That's great. They were locked in and responded and executed that game plan. We knew she, all conference players, she can get buckets and score in bunches. And so we knew she was a key matchup for us. So the fact that we got her in foul trouble, that's when we really went on our run. And, they looked a little out of sync a little bit without their best star on the floor. So kudos to our kids for getting that part executed.
We'll go to John, Global Traveler.
Hi, Coach. With everything that happened this season, was this the most challenging, but maybe the most rewarding season?
Great question, John. Definitely. I mean, if you look out of all the teams in the Big East, I think we had the most pauses and the least amount of games. We played half of our Big East games, half. If you go back and think about that, when you even look at the standings, and a lot of teams got 20 games in and we got 10 in, I think it definitely was hard. But we were rewarded with how we came out to end it. A lot of teams could have just stopped playing, gave up, especially when we hit that second quarantine. It was a deflator. It was an energy taker. But our kids, starting with that senior class, said, no, we want to finish. We want to play games. And we came out and I think played 5 games in 10 days, but our kids didn't complain not one time. They were just thrilled to be together. They were thrilled to be in practice. They were thrilled to be on the court. So it is rewarding that our fight until the very end in this game, that's a huge brick in our foundation of where we're moving forward with Xavier women's basketball.
Thank you, Coach.
We have time for one more. We'll go to Mike.
Hey, Coach. How are you? I know, tough day. Just talk about Kay today. For her to go out on this season, 6 of 11, 22 minutes, so she got a little bit more minutes in. They were in a tight game. You were able to come back a little bit and fight through a tough start. What kind of tone does that set for her, maybe going to the offseason and then get this group into next year?
It's huge. And Kay came here to get Xavier women's basketball back and to win. And Kay's from New York. She knew most of this St. John's roster. And it's huge for her confidence moving forward. We're kind of building the program around her and Nia Clark. in our freshman class. And so this was huge confidence booster against St. John's that she can do it, she can score, and she's going to help us lay that next brick in our foundation.
And just in terms of having a little bit of fight here as you get out of this season, and just in retrospect, getting back on this group of games you were able to play this year, this almost works into sort of almost an exhibition season, if you will, for the next full one that's going to come up. So what kind of positives can you take out of the group of games you were able to play this year?
Yeah, when we finally got to be on the court together, we grew and we matured, and that's the biggest thing. And culture, you know, it's hard when year two from March, you know, when we ended the Big East tournament last year, we didn't see them until July, and then we see them, then we had multiple pauses. So it's hard when you're trying to get that next step in your process and your culture of where you're going and your standard of excellence. But this group, they continue to be there. They continue to buy in. They continue to trust their process. So I'm proud of how we ended with our fight. And we know that we bring it for 40 minutes. This could have been a different outcome.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, everyone. That's all the time we have with Coach. Congrats on your season, Coach. We'll have Coach Tartamella in just a moment. If you could stay on the same